There's some good news as far as Anglophone rights are concerned here in the province of Quebec. And when I say good news, it's nothing the provincial government has done or is talking about. It's something Canada's newly appointed official languages commissioner had to say. Kelly Burke is that person. She is on the line. Thank you so much for your time this afternoon.
My pleasure to be here, Aaron.
Let me begin by, first of all, letting people know we had a chance to talk to Raymond Théberge in the past. He is our former official languages commissioner. You have now taken over that role. I know you haven't been in this job very long. I also know that it did not necessarily start off that well when it came to Quebec. And, you know, I think the question at the time was, what do you plan to do, or how do you react to what's going on here with respect to, say, school boards, for example? And I think at the time your answer was, you know what, I just started. I need some time. And now I congratulate you. You've actually said, I quoted the other day, as suggesting that you understand what is going on here in Quebec as far as our Anglophone school boards are concerned, and you will, in fact, stand up. So let me begin with that. Was this all simply a matter of getting caught up on education?
Well, let me begin by saying that I'm pleased to be here and participating in the conversation, but also delighted to occupy this role. And you're quite right, filling shoes left by Commissioner Théberge prior to his departure had set out, I think, some key things that I have now had a chance to review and pleased to chat with you about. So I believe you're talking about the school governance in particular.
Right.
I just want to make sure that I'm on the right page as far as what the question is.
Indeed.
So I think Law 40 or La Loi 40 that has changed the school board governance in Quebec and very much recognized that it has been legally challenged. So my comments so far have been that I do recognize that under Section 23 of the Charter, school boards are very much protected as far as control and management of them are concerned. And I am aware that both the Court of Appeal and the Superior Court in Quebec has considered the question around a change in the governance of school boards, and that the Attorney General of Quebec has sought leave to the Supreme Court of Canada. So we're following that very closely and waiting to see if the Supreme Court will actually grant leave. Obviously, a very important conversation that needs to be had with me now in my new role, as I take the position that we need to challenge laws that are considered incompatible with Section 23.
Can you bring our listeners just up to date with respect to background and how you come to this particular position?
Sure. I am from Ontario. Both English and French are very much part of who I am. Brought up in Cornwall, Ontario, where I have exposure both to the Anglophone and Francophone communities in a very profound way. I was educated in French language schools and then went on to become a school teacher, having studied at Queen's University. And from there, taught French in French immersion schools in the province of Ontario. After having taught for a few years and wanting to further my education in the legal stream, I became a lawyer and studied at the University of Ottawa in the French Common Law program, and practiced law at the Ministry of the Attorney General in Toronto for several years. And so my background is very much on the legal side of the equation, and very much looking forward to administering the new Official Languages Act in a way that will ensure that language rights across the country are respected. And then additional pieces as far as my background is concerned, I was also an assistant deputy minister of Francophone Affairs with the Ontario government and commissioner of French language services. And so the nature of that role was very much compatible with this role in that very strong oversight with regard to language rights.
So I'm guessing for people hearing that, you know, you're from Cornwall, which is literally just a hop, skip, and a jump from where we are in Montreal. I would imagine you were very much aware of the language battles that have been going on in Quebec for forever, basically.
Absolutely, yes, and very much exposed to the challenges. And we in Cornwall, the city that is very close in proximity to the border, and most of the news that we received at that time, not only from Ontario, but very strong news media from the Gazette coming out of Montreal and the Francophone newspapers as well. So I've been exposed to the challenges and the debate for many, many years.
So I think people will be encouraged to hear that the official languages, Commissioner, you were quoted the other day in the Gazette saying, yes, you're ready to challenge laws that are considered incompatible with charter rights. That's a great blanket statement. There are other issues then in Quebec, of course, as well. Bill 21 on secularism, Bill 96, which expands language laws. What about those and the challenges to those? Where will you be on those?
Well, if we look at Bill 96, I think a critical one, impacting access to services in critical areas. We look at key sectors, education, health, justice. My ultimate objective is to meet with the communities and understand where the vulnerabilities lie and where the challenges are posed as a result of legislation that has had and will continue to have an impact in those sectors. As far as Bill 21 is concerned, my office has intervened in that court matter, again, speaking to Section 23 charter infringement, and particularly, recognizing the charter protects the right to education in the minority language. So, the position that we have taken and I will continue to take is that Section 23 affords the right to manage and control schools. And as my predecessor, I also endorse the protections that I need to extend to ensure that Section 23 rights are upheld because they're important for communities. If I can just take one step further, communities have to thrive, and education is a community's most powerful tool for its survival, its language, its culture. And that applies whether it be the Anglophone community in Quebec or Francophone communities in the remainder of the country.
I will just ask with respect to healthcare, if I can focus on that for just a second. I remember speaking to Commissioner Théberge. There is an issue, and there has been for quite a while, with access to healthcare for Anglophones. The government, of course, provincially has said it shouldn't be a problem, but that's just theoretically. The fact of the matter is, depending on where you live in this province, it can be, it already is a problem. He said he considered that dire, that situation. How are you going to continue that fight?
Well, I think, anything in healthcare, particularly in healthcare for the aged, there are vulnerabilities that lie at the basis of the debate. And so what I intend to do is, again, meet with the community and talk to the key stakeholders in getting a significant appreciation for what is at stake and how I might be able to contribute in the exercise of the powers that I have, and make full use of the tools available to me to contribute to the vitality of the community.
Commissioner, I thank you so much for your time. I wish you the best in this job, and I hope you'll be able to speak again.
I look forward to that very much, Aaron.
The newest tracks. Let's go. New music. And the next big thing.
Always on the new music first.
Your first place to hear it all.
'Cause you gon' like it, love it, wanna play it twice. Playing now.
iHeart New Music. Your digital station for brand new drops, fresh finds, and tomorrow's bangers.
I think we need something new.
Discover iHeart New Music. Always fresh, always first. Stream now on the free iHeartRadio app.